Good morning. First up, we'll be hearing from Baldwin Boxall. Formed in 1982 and based in East Sussex, they design and manufacture voice alarm, public address, disabled refuge, fire telephone, and disabled toilet alarm systems. Many of the products are for life safety, providing the means to communicate to people in times of danger and leading them to safety, such as during a fire or a terrorist attack. All products are designed and built here in the UK and comply with current standards and regulations for life safety equipment. These products are built with longevity in mind and have been installed in many prestigious sites worldwide. After the presentation, you can join the Q&A using the link below the video.
Hello, I'm Chris Hart of Baldwin Boxall. I've been with the company for 19 years and have worked in the sales department all that time. I'm the sales manager for the company and very proud to sell the product. Baldwin Boxall is an independent company formed in 1982, which still retains strong family values. Our customer base has been with us very loyal and mostly over a 20-year period. We design and manufacture voice alarm and emergency voice communication equipment. We are very proud of our reliability and durability within the marketplace, and we have a great name for quality of our equipment. Voice alarm is a monitored public address system. It is interfaced with a fire detection system, which will initiate emergency messages through the building. These can include evacuation messages and alert messages. Older systems employed bells or sounders within buildings, and these did not necessarily tell you the nature of the incident. So a voice alarm system really does let you know by concise digital messages what you need to do when there is a situation. Voice alarm is also monitored. So this means that if you've got a fault on the system, it will be displayed, but the system will still remain operational. If there is a mains failure, the system is still fully operational as there is a battery backup on the system. The monitoring on the voice alarm system goes right through from the microphone coil to the voice alarm rack through to the end of line on the loudspeaker circuits. As such, you've got total reassurance within a building with this type of system. The Baldwin Boxall Vigil 3 system is fully compliant to BS 5839 Part 8 guidelines, as well as being third-party tested and certified to EN54 Part 16. This is a mandatory requirement for a voice alarm system. The Baldwin Boxall system is extremely flexible, and we can do the smallest jobs right up to the largest projects. The system is capable of having up to 400 inputs, 800 outputs, 254 monitored messages, and can also have 64 simultaneous audio channels, which is very good for the larger projects such as airports, etc. The Vigil 3 system is fully configurable from one point. This means on a network system, it can save time and cost for engineers going around the site. The Baldwin Boxall system can provide third-party interfaces. From the fire alarm panel interface to initiate emergency messages, it can also provide a third-party data output to a BMS system. This would be a serial code interface, which would allow our protocol to be interpreted on a BMS graphics package. We can also fit our voice alarm racks with a diagnostics interface. This would just need a local IP address and would allow a user to remote access it on an Outlook web page to see the nature of our system. Baldwin Boxall has an environmental policy. This means we take great care with every new launch of products. The Vigil 3 system maintains this by being very, very compact, providing more watts per module than before. This has the knock-on effect of racks being much smaller, less heat dissipation, and also saving on packaging costs getting the equipment to site. These are all advantages for our customers and for the end user in the buildings. The Baldwin Boxall Vigil 3 system can be used in many different applications, ranging from the smallest to the very largest network projects. We have systems in many market segments in the UK, the Middle East, Far East, and Australia. We supply equipment to lots of different market segments, including shopping centres, museums, office blocks, football stadia, etc. The Vigil 3 system has already been installed in many projects in the UK, ranging from schools, convents to shopping centres. A notable project we are carrying out at the moment is a network system at Oxford House in Oxford Street, London. This is a networked Eclipse 5 system, networked on multi-mode fibre cable. Now follows a short animation on the Vigil 3 system.
Vigil 3 from Baldwin Boxall offers the most flexible voice alarm system for any application. Built on decades of experience, Vigil 3 is simple to design, quick to install, scalable and secure. From a single rack to large distributed systems with hundreds of outputs. Use wall mount or rack mount in any combination. With a fault-tolerant Ethernet backbone, no Ethernet switches are required and there are no license fees. Combine modules together, exactly as you need them. Using compact amplification, resulting in less equipment. Network using copper, multi-mode fibre or single-mode fibre in any combination. 64 simultaneous audio channels with up to 400 inputs, 800 outputs and 254 messages, all in one system. Systems have never been simpler to assemble. Configure from one point with log reporting and message upload. Use the large format touchscreen microphone. Control access using NFC with background music and full voice alarm control, all from the microphone, where you can create, schedule and broadcast announcements. Create your own graphical controls with the easy-to-use interface, with monitoring for all types of loudspeaker circuit. EN54 certified, with power supply included. With one solution for all buildings, integrators can train on one system. Vigil 3. Fast, powerful, flexible. The new generation of voice alarm. Baldwin Boxall, leading the way to safety.
Hello to you all, I'm Jo Pickard and a big thank you to Baldwin Boxall and Chris Hartup for a fantastic start to our FIREX Tech Talks today. Thank you to you all for joining us. I really hope that you're all happy and well and getting through this strange time, okay? So we have people joining the talk now for our live Q&A session. So make sure that you guys pop your questions through the Q&A tab on the right-hand side of your screen. You'll also be able to see other people's questions. So if there is one that you're interested in hearing the answer to, please make sure that you take the time to upvote it so we know it's a popular question and I'll make sure that it gets answered. We're now joined by Nick Baldwin and Anthony Morgan from Baldwin Boxall. Hi guys, how are you doing?
All good, thank you very much indeed.
Good, thanks. Good morning all.
Fantastic. It's really great to see you, and thank you so much for giving us your time. What I'd like to do to start, if it's okay with you guys, while people are kind of coming in and getting themselves settled and getting their confidence up to be able to send their questions in, you know how it is. If you might be able to start, I know quite a few people have seen the video already, but maybe if they're just joining, can you give us a little brief interview, maybe a potted version of the product and the benefits?
Fine.
Okay, do you want to go with that, Nick? Yeah, you go
Yeah,
with that,
sure.
Nick.
So Vigil 3 is our latest voice evacuation, voice alarm development. Previously, we had Vigil 2, and we thought that the product had its limitations. So we've seen lots of sites and lots of systems go more away from centralized to decentralized. So Vigil 3 really meets that requirement. So we can now have larger networks, faster networks, the ability to have more inputs and more outputs. So the system is designed for futuristic systems, maybe for airports, large office blocks, etc. So Anthony might want to sort of go more technically than that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a move away from, as Nick said, centralized systems where there are large rack rooms available, and all of the building support equipment now gets installed in riser cupboards going up the building. So one of the main design briefs was to come up with another wall-mounted compact solution that could serve more zones, more floors, and have more inputs. There's also additional benefits with regards additional messages, additional methods for controlling the system, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys. So the questions are coming in now. So could the system be integrated with an existing audio system that may be used for security, public announcement purposes as well?
Okay, do you want me to take that, Nick?
Yes, please.
Yes, it can, but obviously, as the voice alarm system is used to evacuate a building, generally it is the voice alarm system that does the amplification and the actual broadcast of any PA announcements, with third-party equipment feeding into us. This means that in an emergency situation, we can override any background music or advertising type messages to make sure that the building is evacuated. We do this type of system on a lot of sports grounds, for example, where there might be DJ feeds or background music playing.
Like me, being annoying, talking in the background.
Yeah. And then if the worst happens, we can basically shut all of that up and put out emergency messages to get people out the building.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I work in massive sporting arenas, and that'll be really, really valuable in a lot of those. So why did you move away from traditional output and input modules?
So basically, if you imagine a large high-rise building, they might only have one or two audio inputs. So maybe a fire microphone or a paging microphone. With our traditional routers that we had previously, we found there was wasted inputs and outputs. So what we have now, we have an audio output router that only deals with those outputs into the audio zones. And then we have also a small module that allows either 2 or 4 audio inputs. So we can grow the system to meet the requirements. So there's no wastage.
And because it's a completely modular system, if you need more outputs, you add another output module. Yep. If you need another input, you just add another input module. So you're only installing the electronics that's required.
Exactly.
Brilliant. So less time needed, less money spent, and more efficient, which is great.
Indeed.
Exactly.
So guys, why did you develop Vigil 3 in the first place?
Basically, it's an evolution of Vigil 2. So Vigil 2 had its limitations, maximum number of inputs and outputs, that kind of things. And we got involved with some large projects, and we were really pushing the envelope of what Vigil 2 could support. So we took a step back and decided to start from the ground up and design a system that would, serve us for the next 15 years, if that makes sense, in the large type of buildings that are going up now.
So guys, can the voice messages be personalized for the property?
Yes, of course. There's various ways. So the messages like evacuate and the alert message, we have our own recording studio that we work with. So we can personalize messages that way. but also the system is controlled by a touchscreen microphone. So the user has the ability to be able to record their own non-emergency message, so non-monitored, and then schedule it or broadcast it when they like. And we found that's a great benefit for commercial buildings when it's Remembrance Day. So the armistice message, they can record it once and set it to program play at 11 o'clock. Maybe they're using it today when there's a minute silence as well.
Yeah, we've had an awful lot of customers installing custom social distancing messages at the moment, especially in shopping centres, that kind of thing. Some of them are professionally recorded, some of them are recorded on by the user on the touchscreen mic. But it's so quick and easy to set up. It works really well.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. So how are you handling customized topographical user interfaces, i.e. floor plans?
Okay, do you want me to take that, Nick?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, so historically, with Vigil 2, we've always offered custom PC-based touchscreen graphics. One of the biggest disadvantages of that is when something changes in the building, customers have to come back to us. We have to change a load of code, retest, and re-upload the software on site. And that was all running on a PC. So what we've done now is, based on our touchscreen microphone, which has been available for a while for Vigil 2, we've had an additional feature that you can plug a large monitor into the back of the microphone and then have a topographical view of the building shown on that monitor, so you can select zones. And the beauty is it's completely customizable by the end user. So if the floor plan changes, you put the floor plan on a memory stick and you drag it onto the system. If you want to move a button or rename a zone, you just do that all from the touchscreen.
They're really efficient and you've got control of it rather than having to go through you guys. That's great.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, fantastic. Sorry, did you want to add anything?
No, that's fine.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
fine. Anthony said it all. Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. So next question come in. Where are we? Is there a way of existing fire alarm systems that can they be changed from sounders to speakers using the existing wiring to reduce costs?
Yes and no. Obviously, if you're moving from a sounder-based system to a voice alarm-based system, you've got to install speakers. Speakers are generally higher power than sounders, so the chances are the existing cabling won't support putting out very loud emergency messages, but we are compatible with the existing fire system. So effectively, you can remove the existing sounders, wire those sounder circuits into our racks or our wall-mounted units, and we use those as triggers to put out the emergency messages.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Now, do you believe voice alarm systems would have a variable use case in multi-residential tall buildings?
I'll go here, but basically, yes. We're currently doing our first system into a residential tower, which is a bespoke voice evacuation system. So we've amended the loudspeakers so they've got their own monitoring in. We've got these wall-mountable units that are going up the high-rise tower. So it's allowing the broadcast of evacuation messages into residential apartments, so that if there is an issue, we can evacuate safely throughout our system. So definitely, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's great to be able to have something to be able to show people that you guys have done in that area as well. That's brilliant. Do you believe integration with other BMS systems will become more popular in the fire industry going forwards? And how easy is this to set up with the Vigil 3?
Okay, I can take that one. Yes, I mean, we get lots of requests to integrate with BMS systems. The main thing that you need to consider is that a fire alarm and a voice alarm system is life safety. So there are redundancies built in, fire rated cable, all that kind of stuff. So you can do secondary signaling onto a BMS system, but obviously there's no guarantee that that BMS system will actually be working in an emergency. So we can integrate with BMSs based on simple closing contacts, or we have in the past released our protocol, admittedly under NDA, but we're happy to release our protocol so that people can talk directly to us and get fault information, activation information, all that kind of stuff. But it should only be used for secondary signaling and not relied upon in an emergency.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's important for people to know that and also have that system to be put in place by you guys as well. So they've got a secondary backup. I suppose that's really important. So what is your view on speaker loops with isolators?
Okay, that is a difficult one. Basically, we developed a system. This is honest truth. We developed a system about 5 years ago, but due to patent requirements, we've pulled out of that market. So currently, we don't offer that way of monitoring. It's needed in Europe, but we don't do it. So we just use it either end of line or DC line monitoring.
Yeah, we believe in AB circuits. So a given area is covered by at least 2 speaker lines. So in the event of one speaker line failing, going open circuit, short circuit, there's still full coverage. And all of these guidelines are, all of these system designs are covered by the regulations that say how a voice alarm system should be installed.
Well, that's brilliant of you guys to talk so openly and candidly about what you've tried and what doesn't actually work for you in this industry for you guys. It's great to hear that. Do you believe it's important to have open protocol as an option?
Absolutely. The more equipment that can talk to each other, the better and more functions a system can have. But like I said earlier, the only important thing we need to consider is the voice evacuation system needs to absolutely work in an emergency, because that's what it's there for. So whatever we link with can't jeopardize that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Nick, do you have anything to add?
No, not on that at all. No. Mr. Morgan, sorry, is the technical side. Anything technical goes to him.
Fantastic. Well, how much does a typical system cost? Maybe
that's definitely me.
Yeah.
As Anthony's already mentioned, the system is bespoke per project, so it's difficult to give a cost. The good news is we've worked out that it's more cost effective than the Vigil 2, especially when scaling up to large systems. But if anyone wants a quotation, they can either come directly to us or go through one of our distributors, and we'd be delighted to offer a price.
Fantastic. Why is that then? Why is the cost? How have you managed to reduce the cost for the?
Okay, so as we mentioned before, we've removed the requirement for the audio routers, which are the main cost of the product. So now by having the audio input routers and output routers, there's no waste there. And also the way we power the system. So the amplifiers have got their own built-in power supply, which again is more cost effective. And the charger that we use, so instead of having one charger with Vigil 2 that was required for 2 amplifiers, it's now 1 per 5. So the whole system, when it's scalable up, you reduce the price of it.
Brilliant. Well, that's great for the customers.
Exactly.
So can Baldwin Boxall come on site to support specification?
Definitely. We've got sales teams out on the road, so they can work with consultants or our customer to design the system to meet the building's requirements. We then can project manage the system, going through to rack build and offer factory acceptance test, commissioning and maintenance. So yeah, we offer great support to our customer base.
That's absolutely fantastic. Let me just have a little look and see if I've got any more questions coming in, because we are running out of time on here. Let me just have a little look, make sure. Okay, yeah, so I've got one more coming in. So how easy is the system to install?
From my side, we don't do installation. All right, so basically, it's
really easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's but compared with Vigil 2, the system sits on an Ethernet network that's very, very fast. But its main benefit is previously an engineer had to go to each rack or each node to program the system, whereas now that can be done from one central point. So whether it's message upload, configuration, firmware updates, that can all be done from one central location, which saves installation time.
That's brilliant. So if the guys want to know a little bit more and get in touch with you, how do they do that?
They can either telephone us or visit. The easiest way is probably via our website, which is baldwinboxall.co.uk. On there's contact us forms, product information, support, etc., or just email us via that.
So Nick, Anthony, we've talked a lot today about the system and about you guys. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you guys would like to add?
Not from my side. We've spoken about the touchscreen microphone, the way we do the graphics, the benefits of it. It's environmentally friendly as well, because we've reduced the size of equipment, so that the space in the building is less. Delivery charges are reduced because of the weight of the amplifiers, so that the whole system is far more efficient than its predecessor.
Is the environmental side quite important to the business?
Oh, definitely. It's something that we look at. We have an environmental mission statement. We're also in the process of working with outside consultants to gain ISO 14001. So yeah, we're very passionate about it, very passionate.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. Well, thank you to you both so much for everything that you've said today. It's been really, really fascinating. And thank you for joining us. Registration will be open soon for the next Tech Talks on the 26th and 27th of April. So watch out for that. Thanks again to Baldwin Boxall and also to Nick and to Anthony. Our next talk is coming up at 10:30. That's with ProMat, and we'll see you there.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.